Mobile cremation vehicles in China spark outcry over organ harvesting, missing persons concerns. Two U.S. Navy sailors sentenced for spying for China, raising security concerns. China accuses UK spy agency of recruiting foreign operative, raising doubts. Mainland Chinese citizens call on Taiwanese to beware of Chinese Communist Party ahead of crucial election. Experts warn of growing military discontent with Xi as purges continue. Mobile cremation vehicles in China spark outcry over organ harvesting, missing persons concerns. Recently, multiple mobile cremation vehicles have re-emerged in China, drawing public criticism and calls for a ban over fears of enabling organ trafficking and destruction of evidence in missing persons cases. Marketed online as pet cremation vehicles, the sizes and capacities of these vehicles vary greatly, some claiming to cremate over 120 jin, 150 pounds, in a single run. Netizens questioned what kind of pets could be so large, asserting the real purpose is cremating humans, so missing persons will leave no trace. Many citizens oppose legalization of mobile cremation due to post-pandemic deaths and potential vaccine side effects, fueling future fatalities. Beijing resident Li said all funeral homes were overwhelmed last winter and more deaths are expected this year, yet untracked mobile units risk enabling crime. Guangxi resident Li associated the vehicles with China's many unresolved missing persons, fearing stolen organs and incineration to cover up crimes. They'll utilize this to make people disappear amid the lucrative organ trade, he said, noting the unregulated vehicle's role in destroying evidence. Henan resident Xiao views street-side cremation vans as disasters for the lower classes, as organs may be harvested from children and their bodies immediately cremated, leaving no remains, just to supply organs for the upper classes. Reporters Xiang Bin and Huang Yuning interviewed citizens expressing distress over diminished safety and accountability if mobile cremation spreads further in China. Strict oversight is demanded to prevent potential exploitation by criminal networks. Two U.S. Navy sailors sentenced for spying for China, raising security concerns. Wen Hengzhao, a 26-year-old Chinese-American sailor in the U.S. Navy, was sentenced to 27 months in prison on January 8 for allegedly acting as a spy for China. Jin Chao-wei, a 23-year-old sailor, faces possible life imprisonment if convicted of similar charges. Federal prosecutors say Zhao provided sensitive information to Chinese intelligence officers from August 2021 to May 2023 in exchange for $15,000, using encrypted communications and destroying evidence. He pleaded guilty in a plea deal. The Justice Department said Zhao violated his solemn oath to defend the nation and endangered fellow service members. Some online questioned why the sentence was so light, saying China would disappear him for the same offense. Emigrated Chinese rights lawyer Wu Xiaoping believes the 27-month sentence resulted from a plea bargain given clear evidence. Plea deals often reduce sentences in the U.S. system. Wei, stationed in California, allegedly conspired to send defense information to Chinese spies for $10,000 to $15,000. Prosecutors say he first contacted Chinese intelligence in February 2022 while applying for U.S. citizenship, encouraged by his mother, who said it could help his career in China one day. Political commentator Lan Shu noted many American-raised youth lack understanding of communism's threats due to leftist education influences. Overly optimistic China views enable more effective espionage. In October, former U.S. Army Sergeant Jacques Schmidt was arrested for contacting Chinese Security Post Service about providing defense secrets. Wu said while China uses money and coercion, such betrayals threaten U.S. security. FBI Director Wray warned in 2020 of over 2,000 Chinese economic espionage probes and a new China-related counterintelligence case opening every 10 hours, calling China the biggest threat facing America. Experts say stronger deterrence is needed against persistent Chinese infiltration in the U.S. China accuses UK spy agency of recruiting foreign operative, raising doubts. Since introducing its new national intelligence law last year, China's relations with other countries have grown increasingly tense. Now, China's State Security Ministry claims to have busted a case of the UK's MI6 intelligence agency using a third-party national to engage in espionage activities against China. According to the ministry, the foreign national surnamed Huang, who was detained, is the head of an overseas consulting firm. In 2015, MI6 established an intelligence cooperation relationship with Huang and instructed him to enter China multiple times to collect intelligence for the UK and identify personnel for MI6 to recruit as agents. It's alleged Huang provided the UK with 9 classified and 5 secret Chinese state secrets, as well as 3 intelligence reports. China has taken criminal coercive measures against him. However, the ministry did not disclose what secrets were leaked or provide detailed information about Huang's nationality, age, gender, or his specific consulting company. This has raised doubts about whether China's accusations are credible. Columnist Wang He of Epoch Times said it's difficult to judge due to China's vacuousness. It may be more of a diplomatic and public opinion offensive, or an attempt by state security to gain favor with Xi Jinping after Chen Yiqian took over the ministry. Dr. Zhang Jidong of Taiwan's Institute for National Defense and Security Research said the timing of China revealing an MI6 spy case implies special meaning in geopolitical maneuvering. Peter Humphrey, a UK citizen detained in China for 2 years, told media the case appears ridiculous, with the spy having a Chinese name but his nationality unknown. The UK Foreign Office told Sky News it could neither confirm nor deny espionage-related allegations. Notably, this is the latest case of mutual accusations of spying between China and the UK. Last year, British police arrested 2 UK nationals for allegedly violating the Official Secrets Act, including a UK parliamentary staffer suspected of spying for China. Some see this as China's retaliation, not just against the UK's accusations last year, but also Western crackdowns on Chinese spies more broadly. Hong Kong international relations scholar Wong Wai-kong told media past state secret cases always aroused doubts, questioning whether Beijing was apprehending spies or hostages due to its secrecy. Dr. Zhang said the detainee could be both a spy and hostage, as the two are not mutually exclusive. Last year's parliamentary espionage case sparked UK security concerns, with politicians urging clarification of UK-China relations. Former PM Liz Truss even called for designating China a national security threat. Columnist Wang He noted the UK's China policy direction remains unclear, exacerbated by long-term infiltration, slowing judicial procedures against Chinese spies. The case may further rattle foreign investors in China, but its impact on UK-China relations is yet to be seen. Mainland Chinese citizens call on Taiwanese to beware of Chinese Communist Party ahead of crucial election. On January 13th, Taiwan will hold its 16th presidential election to elect the next president and legislators of the 11th term. The result of this election is seen as impacting Taiwan's future course and has drawn intense international attention as well as concern from Chinese mainland citizens. A citizen from Anhui, Mr. Zhou, said he is closely following Taiwan's election and genuinely hopes Taiwan will prosper more and more. He urges Taiwanese to be aware that this is not just about themselves, but also their descendants, and to protect this beautiful island so it can continue shining its light in the region. Speaking of this, he became emotional and teared up. Many mainland Chinese have called on Taiwanese through New Tang Dynasty television not to vote for pro-China candidates, otherwise Taiwan may become a second Hong Kong. A citizen from Hunan, Mr. Jiang, pointed out looking at the realities in mainland China and Hong Kong, supporting pro-China can only lead to disaster. Mainland Chinese have long lived without freedom of speech or democracy. If Taiwanese pin their hopes on the mainland, their future will be even grimmer than Hong Kong. A citizen from Guangxi, Ms. Huang, said mainland Chinese have no protections whatsoever, as she herself has long been unemployed. Mr. Zhou also said mainland Chinese cannot even safeguard their own safety. He warned if pro-China candidates are elected, it may also plunge Taiwan into catastrophe, just like Hong Kong. In the run-up to the election, China has continuously harassed and intimidated Taiwan using military aircraft, vessels, and balloons. On January 9th, China again launched a rocket that flew over Taiwan's airspace without warning, forcing Taiwan's defense authorities to respond urgently. The Kuomintang and Democratic Progressive Party candidates both condemned Chinese interference, saying that if successful, Taiwan's democracy will cease to exist. U.S. House Speaker Mike Johnson reiterated during a meeting with Taiwan's representative to the U.S. that America will stand with the Taiwanese people and continue aiding Taiwan's defense and deterring Chinese provocations. Ms. Huang also said if Taiwan falls, Asia will lose its beacon of freedom and democracy. A citizen from Jilin, Mr. Lee, urged Taiwanese to keep their eyes wide open. Experts warn of growing military discontent with Xi as purges continue. Since coming to power, Xi Jinping has carried out military reforms while continuously purging the forces through anti-corruption campaigns. However, graft remains rampant in the military, experts say, as Xi distrusts the armed forces, whose defiance would grow the more he cracks down. This could potentially spark a military revolt. A former naval officer told the Epoch Times that Xi's anti-corruption drive has created rifts with generals. In August, newly appointed Defense Minister Li Shangfu suddenly vanished from public view before being fired. Concurrently, senior Rocket Force officers were implicated in a case, affecting the equipment department as well. Last December, 9 high-ranking officers were removed as NPC delegates, while 3 military-industrial executives lost CPPCC positions. These signs show Xi remains uneasy about military loyalty, even as he consolidates power in his third term. University of New South Wales Associate Professor Feng Chongyi said recent rocket force purges stem from Xi wanting to attack Taiwan, but professional soldiers assess invasion would fail, leaving them to take the blame afterwards, so they refuse to cooperate. Taiwan's Institute for National Defense and Security Research Director Su Ziyun said, "Graft can't be eradicated under one-party rule. While Xi cracked down on many officials, corruption has grown worse. The more anti-corruption, the weaker the Communist Party's rule, and the more anti-corruption in the military, the more it will turn against Xi," she noted. Australian lawyer Yuan Hongbing believes top officers were actually purged not for leaks or graft, but their internal opposition to Xi's policies, posing his biggest political crisis as his appointees prove two-faced, requiring ever-widening purges across forces. A retired colonel said to an overseas platform that Xi's anti-corruption has created divisions with generals, as corruption stems from China's system. Fighting it within that system means opposing the system itself, which Xi has bitten off more than he can chew in doing. A former serviceman told the Epoch Times that control over forces has tightened under Xi, especially through separate military phone lines monitored for all outbound calls. While senior officers and veterans may have private numbers, they're blocked within barracks where political commissars facilitate surveillance. He noted troops participating in 1989's Tiananmen crackdown received commendations some later destroyed, unwilling to keep them, showing inner humanity remains despite serving under political pressure. Experts warn military discontent threatens CCP rule if dissent spreads.